What is up, everybody? Just jiving to some music in the background. What's going on? It's me. It's time. We're immediately going to jump into this thing. We're going to watch Trump at the State of the Union address. I'm going to share your screen with me the whole time. We'll comment. We'll talk about how things are going. It's good to see everybody in the chat. What's up, everybody? Let's go.
Situation. And remember, we heard so much about the preparation, that he was at Camp David for days getting ready. His people were prepping him. Harold
Mike
Ford
Pence
Jr.
looking like
joins
a killer,
us as well.
as
Harold,
always. Mike Pence is my favorite of all time. He's just such a savage.
I like these nights, and I like a night better like this when the chamber is respectful, when the speaker is cheerful, and lays out where he will one day say where he believes we're headed. And based on some of the things we're all hearing and seeing and reading here in the last few minutes, the president's ready to take a 6-week, not victory lap, but tell us why things are different, why momentum is back. And he'll have to address some of the tough questions around the economy as well. But I hope Democrats listen tonight, clap when appropriate, not clap when they choose not to. But
you know they're not going to do that. That's exactly what is going on all night. President Trump just straight shenanigans.
President Trump will
Everybody knows
say,
this.
according to the excerpts, our confidence is back, our spirit is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. It's unstoppable. So this president ready to
Mason,
take
good
a bit
idea.
of a victory lap.
I should have asked Nate
his
beforehand. I didn't know what he was doing. I can always text him. I don't know what he's doing. He can always come jump on. Let me hit him
There
up.
you see Democrat members of the House. They decided to all wear pink tonight. Members of the Black Caucus will be in black this evening.
So let's take a moment, listen to the action down on the House floor. We're going to pause for the top of the hour. Again, President Trump just moments away. Our special coverage of tonight's joint address.
All these Democrats wearing pink just cracks me up. Like, hey, we're going to be defiant. We're going to just wear our little pink coats and stuff. The irony is just absolutely ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Hey, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit as we kind of go through these, the more waiting until we see what's going on here as everybody files in. Just a quick little history lesson, right? So the State of the Union used to be something that the president had to give. Usually it could be just a letter. It could be like, hey, the house is in order, everything's fine. So we started getting on like television with these things, and then it started to be this huge politicized event. So for me personally, while these chuckleheads are talking here in the background, I'm not a huge fan of the State of the Union. I don't think it's really that necessary. It always turns into a spectacle. You got Pelosi famously ripping up her little sorry, I was just turning the live chat on. Ripping up her little piece of paper behind Trump, and she was all super upset about it, ripping up the speech or whatever. It was just absolutely ridiculous. That's how these things are. So I hope you're going to have fun watching the State of the Union, because we are going to clown people. DC is Hollywood for ugly people. Like, this is all a show. It's just way less cute talent on both sides of the fence. So that's what it is. What's up to everybody in the chat? Mason, I see you're in there. What's going on? Calvin, what's up, dude? Giovanni. Every time I read your name, I start to speak Italian. Giovanni. Yeah, anyway, that's the type of night it's going to be. Got my man, Peter Ducey, savage. Let's see what this guy's saying.
This team here at the White House has been getting ready for tonight with a call back to the campaign trail and their boss's trip to a drive-thru with McDonald's. Brett, Martha.
So we're getting ready for
that's funny.
the president
Peter Ducey,
to walk in. At that point, you'll hear from the
solid miss on any jokes.
Who will announce
but
the
you're all good there.
You see members assembled here as they wait. Vice President J.D. Vance, it's his first time up there on the podium. Mike Johnson as well, or was there last year for President Biden's speech. So everyone is assembled. It's a joint speech to Congress rather than a State of the Union, because it's so early in the term. But as we've been saying, President Trump feels, and rightfully so, that he has quite a few things to list when he gets up there in a few minutes.
This is only the second president to do a second joint address. The other one being Grover Cleveland, as you see Nancy Pelosi.
Shout out for the Grover Cleveland knowledge. My favorite U.S. president. He's not. He actually, I think Grover Cleveland actually survived an assassination.
And they are unified in their pink outfits tonight. We don't know what's going to happen with Democrats, as Harold mentioned earlier. Let's bring in our panel. Fox News chief political analyst Britt Hume. Dana Perino is co-anchor of America's Newsroom, co-host of The Five. Harold Ford Jr., former Tennessee congressman and co-host of The Five. We have a lot of those. And Larry Kudlow.
Yeah, because there's 5 of them. We're going to turn these knuckleheads down for a second. So just to open up, everybody's aperture here. We're going to read some fun
Grover
Grover Cleveland facts. The only president to serve non-consecutive terms. That was what they just put out there. Won the popular vote 3 times.
What do you think about
had
this
secret
moment
cancer surgery on a
and that
yacht.
economic
While in
issue?
office, Cleveland was diagnosed with a cancerous tumor in his mouth. To avoid public panic, he underwent secret surgery in 1893 aboard a yacht, where doctors removed part of his upper jaw and replaced it with a rubber prosthetic. Grover Cleveland's a gangster. What is he doing up in here? Paid a substitute to serve in his place during the Civil War. I'm out. This knucklehead. Cleveland did not serve in the Civil War, instead paying $150 for a substitute to take his place. Something that was legal under the Conscription Act of 1863. This was common at the time, but later became a political tag against it. Yeah, homie, you can't pay people. Oh, Melania.
I mean, it's going to be very optimistic.
What an upgrade. Everybody just drop a thumbs up in the chat for Melania Trump. We went from Joe Biden to Melania Trump.
In at least
God
some
bless
general
America.
way,
That woman
so
is
people know where he's headed. He's
Shout out to
have growth.
Melania.
He's got to say, I'm going to fatten your wallets to middle.
So back to Grover Cleveland. He adopted his wife's daughter before she was his wife. I mean, that's a move, right? Like, I'm going to adopt your daughter. It kind of backs her into a corner, really gets some hooks in her. Good job, Grover Cleveland. Had a reputation for honesty. That seems weird. Grover the Good. Cleveland was known for his honesty and fight against political corruption. As mayor of Buffalo, and governor of New York, he aggressively took on corrupt politicians. Okay, I mean, you might have a fan in me, Grover Cleveland. I guess. I don't know. He hated government handouts. He refused to annex Hawaii. He died almost forgotten.
Also the subject of some pushback.
He faded from public life. His last words repeatedly were,
entering the chamber right now. HHS dealing with the measles outbreak.
There you go.
Dana,
I bet you didn't think you were coming here for Grover Cleveland facts, but I'm here. Look at this Avenger right here. Look at
the State of the Union address. They're mostly like laundry lists or shopping lists that you want, a president wants from Congress.
Shuffling in, and we got
we're told that this process was
right
a
there.
little
That's
upended
making
this
me
time, and
gross.
that
Adam
each one of these
Schiff.
cabinet secretaries
good.
Smoothed
this guy
out,
just looks like a
was
movie
a little
star.
bit quicker as far as getting the speech together.
Hey, what's up, Byron?
Well,
is it Brian? It is Brian. You spell it just like my brother too. What's up, dude? What's up, Brian?
Something in the speech.
Welcome everybody here.
Then they can go out and market it and sell it. Now, this is a huge audience for the president tonight. One of the things that might be a little different from day to day is that it's not just political junkies or supporters or opponents, right? This is a big, broad audience. But he also is going to talk to Congress. And I think
Why
it's
are
very
Republican women so much better looking?
He be clear
just in general.
What he wants the Congress to do.
It's got to be that conservative, like whole milk stuff.
Agenda, do what Larry just said.
Yo, Nate, what's up? Nate, we had a request to come jump on. So if you want to, I'll send you the link. You can come on if you're just like trolling me in the comments, I'm here for it. But Mason Young was like, oh, you should bring Nate on.
Sports. That is kind of interesting. Yeah. The other thing is, like, the president is going to be able to announce that actually the border is now secure. It only took 44 days. Are the Democrats going to applaud for that?
Yeah, we see Kristi Noem walking in. Spoke with Tom Homan earlier today. Obviously, the president will tout, Harold, the success that he's had at the border. The numbers are extraordinary. It's down 98% from where it was under President Biden. It was such a glaringly obvious issue during the election, and Democrats pretty much dug in.
It was an issue the president won on and continues to win on. It'll be interesting to hear how the president talks about the different budget blueprints from the House and the Senate. But I do think Larry touches on something that that the president, I hope, focuses on in his speech for his sake. You've got to figure out how you grow this economy for everyone. The stock market's taken a little bit of a hit the last 2 days, but that's the richest of the country that really looks to that.
Yeah, so right here, just Melania looking good. Look at that belt. Shout out to Melania. So, I mean, the economy has to be a huge focus of Trump right now. Like, he has to make the economy better.
And how he tries to reconcile or talks about how Congress should reconcile whatever differences they may have, that being Republicans in the House and the Senate, to advance some of these ideas and proposals.
You know, I wonder out loud how much DOGE budget cutting will be in this speech, because actually it's polling very well. It's very popular.
Yeah,
And
it's like an
goes to
80-20
Harold's
issue.
point,
Trump keeps hammering
it
these
cuts back
80-20
on
issues, and we
inflation,
talked about it
cuts
before,
back
right?
on the
He's
cost
going to
of
hammer these 80-20
He's got-
issues in
look, I
order
think
to
this is
get
gonna be a
the
real
rank and
top
file of
down. He's
America
not
behind
like
him. That's why
cabinet
he's attacking this
secretaries
stuff. Doge is
making
wildly
requests.
popular.
I think this
Regardless
is
of what
gonna
you
be-
might
it's
see
gonna
in
be
the MSM,
top
everybody
down,
generally
Trumpian, his
speaking,
closest advisor.
Republicans and
Here's
independents
my
agree, and Democrats,
agenda.
as a matter of fact, agree
Here's
that Doge is
my
a good thing.
vision.
That's why all this is going to
Britt
go. Like,
Hume,
he is going to talk
the
about that. Let me look up the
Democratic
5
response tonight
things.
after this
They basically
speech
said the
will
5
be
things that
from
he's going to do. The
first-term
theme of
Michigan
tonight's
Senator
State of the
Alyssa
Union
Slotkin.
is
That's
renewing
usually a
American
very
strength or something like that. Let me
unenviable
look.
position
So the 5
because
things
you're
to look
just
for, I'm
coming
getting
after
them
the
here off of
president in this
Fox.
massive
These bad boys
chamber.
out.
But I expect the economy is going to drive her speech later on.
Well, that seems to be the issue that the Democrats think they may have an opening on. I think it's a little early in the administration.
Yeah, 5 things to watch for Trump's
for
speech.
people
This
to
is
start to turn
again
against
from
the
Fox
president on the
News.
economy. Although obviously
Tomorrow night
the
will be big. I'll
continuation
tell
of
it like it
inflation
is, says
something
Donald
they have
Trump.
to worry about, especially with tariffs.
He's going to
in
talk
place,
tariffs and
which
high
have the effect of
prices,
driving up
shrinking
prices
government,
normally.
and Elon Musk.
So there's some
What
concerns
does Trump
there.
say about Ukraine,
I
Russia?
suspect
And
you
the
will
5th
point
thing
to
is
that. As you
immigration
point
and
out,
border
Brett, it's a very
security.
unenviable
So those
job.
are going to be kind of your
Very
5
few people
topics.
have ever done it and had any impact with it. It's usually people turn the television off after the president's speech is over.
Nate,
They may
I don't know
listen to
what
a little
Nate, like
analysis,
Nate just
and
asked.
that's about it.
He was like,
So I
"Oh,
think,
we're trying to figure
it's
out
a
how
tough
he's going to
job
get on
for
here.
her.
We're
I
talking
don't envy
timing
her.
here in the background is
I don't
Babylon."
envy her the task,
And
but
oh, what's
she
up,
will
Slim?
focus on the
So
on prices.
yeah, man,
the price of
I'm
eggs
sitting here
in particular.
texting him, and he's like, "Dude, you're not going to do your
If
live."
you
I'm like,
remember
"Bro,
the
I'm live now.
response,
I'm
it's
not going to
usually
really
for the
stay
wrong
on that
reason.
long. Like, I'm going to talk through this and then
So
bounce."
we'll see what comes of that tonight. As we're waiting for the Sergeant of Arms to bring in the president, the cabinet is still making their way down there. Tulsi Gabbard, the new director of national intelligence,
Nate said
Kelly
he's going to hop
Loeffler,
on.
the
So I'm
small
going to send him
business
the
administrator,
Riverside link here.
and they're just chatting in the chamber there on their way down. They're running a little behind.
There's Linda McMahon, the Department of Education Secretary. It has been, and I think, Majority Leader Thune, who we saw earlier today, it takes some of the credit here for getting these cabinet members through in such a timely manner. When President Trump chose these people, there was all this backlash and these people
There,
will
Nate,
never get
Nate's going to come on
confirmed.
after his live is up, so you guys will see
all of the swing
Nate from
states
Valhalla
and
VFT will
won
come
the
over and say
popular
what's
vote,
up. What's
and
up, everybody?
it's really
Simon, what's going on?
unprecedented to imagine that he
Jason,
wouldn't
Jake,
get the
what's going
cabinet
on?
that he
Hi, everybody.
wanted.
What's up?
And
We're
this
just
is a night for them
vibing.
to
We're just looking at
assemble
this stuff. We're
as a
waiting on the
group as
main
well as they
DJT
listen to
that
what the
wants to keep
president
king
has
of the
laid
United
out
States
for
of
them.
America.
Dana,
Waiting on
as
him
we
to get
wait
in
for
here,
this, we
listen to
expect
some of
any
his
moment the
commentary.
president's going to walk in.
Yeah, so he has to
But a quick
focus on
thought
the
on this
economy
issue of
for
tariffs, which
Trump's
we brought up
anything to
before,
work.
because
He
this
needs
is
the
a
economy
rocky-
just
It's a
absolutely
rocky
just
issue
booming.
for him to grapple with.
He needs it just
maintained that I
absolutely
think
fine.
that the
People, all the
sequencing
other
was
stuff.
off.
The immigration that he's doing, the lowest numbers like ever, I think, this year. Border crossings are down so much. He's going to have people in the crowd that have been
high prices,
immigrant
inflation, and the
immigrant
economy and
crime
jobs,
victims.
the
So
border,
a bunch of those family
and
members
crime.
and a bunch of those folks are going to be in the
Tariffs are
crowd
something that
with
are
him
going to
tonight.
be
So that's a bit of the
complex
theatrics that you have
to
to look
explain
forward
to
to.
people.
Is
And
that
so
Trump is going
I
to have
think
those folks
what
in the
could
audience.
have happened is why not wait until a speech like tonight to explain, dear American people.
But getting back to what I was saying about the economy, like he has to explain what he's doing with tariffs. Like, listen, I like tariffs as a negotiating tool. I like tariffs for a bunch of different reasons. They are a tax. It is exactly what it is. They will make goods and prices higher.
Instead, to me, it
from
feels
in
slightly
certain respects,
chaotic.
right? That
Maybe
just
that's
is the
by
truth of
design.
what
I
it
don't know.
is.
Perhaps
That
I'll
is
read
what
in a
it
book
is. But
in
as
20
if
years
you're
that
doing
this
it
was all a
to force
strategy.
people like Honda
But
said that
I
they're going
think
to
that
build their
going
new
back and
Civic
forth
in
and back and
America
forth, and
to
then
avoid the
you
tariffs on
have
it. So
Republicans who will
that's what it's
defend
meant
them
to
on
do.
tariffs
It's meant
and
to
then
bring
defend the
business
pulling
into
back of
America now.
tariffs.
There's a
And
limit to all
it's
that, and we'll have to talk
genius. In
about
the
real
meantime,
economic
people who are
impact
looking
because
at their
from a
401ks,
strategy
which they
standpoint,
are
Trump
accustomed to
does
doing
need
now,
to have like
are
remarkable
concerned.
impacts
And so
on
the jury is
economy. The
very
economy
much
has to
out
be
on
just
this. And
booming. And
I
right
don't know how
now,
much time
it's too
he'll
hot.
spend
People have
talking
been
about that tonight, but I
predicting
do
a
think the
recession for quite a
sequencing
long
on the
time.
communications
He's
on
got to
this was
find
a
a way to
little
cool
off.
inflation
He will
off.
say
And
we
you got to
have
find a way to produce. You're
just
just
a
going to have
quick
to
point.
outgrow. It's the only way we
I
are.
would
Nobody
have
wants to
preferred a different sequence.
talk about touching the
I
third
would have
rail
said,
of
get your
politics,
tax
which is the
cuts
entitlements,
done
right?
first,
Social Security,
and then
Medicare.
go
But that's
for
where
the
all of our debt
tariffs.
comes from. Like
All
that
right?
just is what
The
it is.
tax cuts
If President Bush
really
would have
give
put
people some
the money in
monetary
the market,
torque,
he
as I
wanted to
say,
put the money in the
fattens
market
class wallets.
for Social Security. Had he
There
just
will
done
be
that, the market's
some
gone up 4
belt-tightening
times
on the
since then.
tariffs.
We wouldn't
I
have
don't
a
think
Social
it's going to be
Security
that
problem.
bad, and
Yeah,
it needs
like
to be
Social
explained.
Security didn't solve
But
it in 8 years.
in the first
So,
term,
but nobody
the
wants to
tax
touch that,
cuts
so
came
we're not
first,
going to be
and
able
then
to
the
we're not going to be
tariffs
able to
came.
like
And I
really
wish
lower
that
the
it
debt
was
in any
sequenced the
meaningful
same
way
this
without
time
touching
around.
either
He
one
will
of those two
say
entitlement
we've
programs, which
accomplished more
everybody
in
keeps saying that
43
they're not going
days
to
than most administrations
So if you
accomplish
don't
in
do
4
that, if you don't
years
touch
or
those
8
programs,
years, and we're just
Doge
getting
is going to try to
started.
hack away at
We
it, but the only
forget
way is to
that
grow
some
out
of
of
this
it.
speech, maybe
That's what your focus
a
has to be on:
significant part,
energy
Harold,
independence,
is
growing
going
out
to
of
be
it,
about
selling
foreign
everybody
policy
in
in the
Europe
wake of
natural
what
gas
just
that they should
happened in
not
the
be buying
Oval
from
Office with
Russia.
President Zelensky.
All of that should be
Over the
all of it.
weekend,
By the
he
way,
was
in
in
the chat,
Europe.
who do you,
He
this
made
is
a
an
post
interesting
today
question.
that
So
suggested
remember the Nord Stream
Zelensky
pipeline,
is ready to
and
go
that blew
forward,
up?
and we may
There was a whole bunch
hear
of, I
that
even did
President
a
Trump
reel
is
on it
getting
way
to
back
that
in the day. It was
point
one of
too
my first
tonight
reels that ever
on a
went over like
Ukraine
100,000
minerals
views.
deal that takes you
It
to
was
the next
rowdy.
step in
Who do you think,
negotiations.
put it
He
in the,
promised
in the chat right now, who do you
a
think
stronger
blew up the
economy,
Nord Stream
promised no
pipeline?
taxes on tips and ending wars.
Like, who do you think were the people that
People want to
actually
hear,
blew
I
that
think,
up?
all of that.
Because that actually
We
benefited.
were all alarmed
So
last week. You had a
I
great
know
week last
who I
week,
think
Brett, as
did
you
it, so I'll
interviewed
just
those
jump
three
to the end.
leaders.
But there's a whole talk about
to see that
you know,
meeting
Europe and
end like
actually
it did
like
had to be
Europe's.
disheartening
I want
for
to
the
say Europe's
president, both
GDP in
presidents.
2024
So
was
if he
like
talks about that tonight with some
18.5 trillion,
progress, and he
and
can talk
Russia's is
about a
like
mineral deal being closer,
2.02
I
trillion
think it'd be
dollars.
good for him.
If they
It'd be
wanted to
good
band
for
together
our
and
security
contain Putin, they
guarantee, the
certainly could.
architecture
They've
we
got all
built
the
in
money.
Europe
They don't need
and
us
for
for
Ukraine.
that. Like, just
So
have
we
the
hear the
European
gavel
Union do
from
it.
Speaker
It's the simplest
Johnson,
thing
and
ever.
we are ready
But
for the
yeah,
Sergeant
Trump
at
needs
Arms,
that
William
economy. He needs
McFarland,
to explain what
to
he's
announce
doing
the
with
president.
tariffs. He needs to explain what he's doing with Russia and Ukraine. Zelensky came out earlier today and was like, no, my bad. I'm going to come back and sign that thing after all. What's up, Jenks? Good to see you. All right, here we go. The man. What is he doing? Just throwing stuff? How can you not love this guy? Seriously. Look at this guy just absolutely holding court in his element. People are clapping. They're just like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of this intro. Walk faster. Slim, fortunate son starts playing. +1 to you. Oh, tonight's non-drinking podcast brought to you by this sweet. This is my favorite non-alcoholic because I don't drink anymore. Athletic makes an IPA, like a hazy IPA. Dude, it's fantastic. Fun fact about alcoholic beer, it's actually more hydrating than water because of the process that they use to make it. It's actually a really good hydration tool. Now you know. Don't fact check me, bro. This intro is entirely too long. People are getting these people are 150 years old, bro. Come on, DJT. Mason Donald looking fresh. He does look good. Look at that dark red tie. He's got that maroon boy on. It's almost like a wine color. Ugh. So good. I bet him and Melania look great. Just, yeah. They call Melania Ranch because she do be dressing. Ugh.
President making his way down the center aisle, and you see him shaking the hands of the Chief Justice, John Roberts. A significant moment there as he passes by Brett Kavanaugh and the other, Elena Kagan and the other members of the Supreme Court. Britt, you know, going down that aisle, we remember all of the people who used to pack into that aisle, including the late Sheila Jackson Lee from Texas. There are some, you know, people that just, this is their moment to shake the hand of the president.
So I just said Trump looks like a shark in this room right now, like no wasted motion, just gliding back and forth. But he is the apex predator.
There's always a certain number of members of the Congress who are selfie seekers, and they will crowd the edge of that aisle so that they can get themselves a picture with the president or shake his hand or be acknowledged by him. He is, after all, the largest figure at any given moment in our government. And at this point, I think in this particular case tonight, it's the largest figure in modern American political history, certainly at this moment.
That's not even a hot take. That's just a fact.
He's shaking hands of some of the generals in the front row here. And just to keep in mind with the Supreme Court justices, he's got a couple of big cases before them right now. about whether or not he can freeze foreign aid or fire executive branch officials. So he will be dealing with the Supreme Court quite a bit in the coming weeks and months. Spend some time with them as he makes his way up to the podium.
And he is nominating a new chairman of the Joint
these
Chiefs, which is
generals. I don't
quite
know
something
these
as well.
guys. I
As he
can't
shakes
say that. I
those
think that's
hands.
actually Dan
And now
Raising
as
Cane,
he
the 4-star in the background.
gets ready to give the speech, shaking the hands of the Vice President and the Speaker. Let's listen in to
Navy
the President of the
uniforms
United
look way
States,
Air
Donald
Force has
J. Trump. His
crappy
first
uniforms.
joint
Our dress
address
uniforms
in
are
this
absolute
term,
freaking
his
balls.
second
They're
overall,
terrible.
and
Well,
his
there's
fifth
your terrible. I don't have to wear
as
that crap
President
anymore. Still
of the
fits
United
though.
States.
Navy's uniform's way better. The man, the myth, the legend, DJT.
Thank you.
Oh no. Oh no. Nate is going to come on. So guys, you know him, the man, the myth, the legend. Nate from Valhalla VFT is going to hop over. So as soon as I see him queue up here, we'll get him on too.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States.
What's up, girl? Give it up for Melania Smoke Show. Strong, elegant. Oh, take your moment, girl. Can you imagine Doug Emhoff standing up for that right now if Kamala wins? Gross. Can you imagine what we'd have to deal with Doug Emhoff and crazy, what was his name? Tim Waltz's wife? Was it Carrie Waltz or something? Oh, my God.
Members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
Get out of here. We are so back. Oh, the opener? The opener? Don't do him like this, DJT. Don't do him like this. Oh, my goodness. The vibes are absolutely impeccable.
Six weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Let's go. Love it. So Nate's going to come on. Trump's going to get done talking. Nate will hop over here at the end, and then we'll basically have our talk about if it was any good or not, or our opinion on it. So make sure to stay around for that. Should be a really good time. Nate's going to come in here after Trump's done.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again.
Oh, the shot.
Never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes. We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Absolute. Fantastic. Get him mad. Get him mad, big dog. Get him mad, big dog. Al Green. So that's Al Green is the guy that basically said he's going to bring back impeachments. He's not the singer Al Green. That would be way cooler. It's the Al Green that brought impeachment articles against Trump. So, yeah, Al Green is a piece of human excrement. That dude is absolutely terrible in every single regard. Just absolutely low brain individual.
Country, 2,700 to 525. On a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Let's go.
Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing.
Mike is out here like, hey,
ever.
I'm writing your name down. Dude, Mike Johnson right now is writing a little note. It's like, I'm going to fuck this guy later.
Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Yeah, you better stop playing around, dog.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Kick him out. Wait, kick him out.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Let's go. We're back, baby. I'm sorry. We are so fucking back. Fuck around and find out, my guy.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order.
Yo.
Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
You're gone. Get him out of here. What a move. Absolutely. I'm kicking you all out. You're gone. Take your shit and go. That's 2 in a week. Trump kicks Zelensky out. Now Al Green gone. Get out of here. Fantastic. I've had it. I've had it, says Mike. We're going to switch this stream over too because I have the stupid Fox News one on. I'm going to switch over to the White House's YouTube. So just bear with me for 2 seconds. What an absolutely ridiculous thing to do. Fantastic. Kick him out of here, says Mike. Let me share my screen with y'all.
Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions a record.
Sorry.
To restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across
Jake, what
our
up, my
wonderful
dude?
land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it.
Get out of here. Let's go. Kicked out. I wonder when the last time that happened was. Let's ask. Let's see.
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency,
Let's go.
is the most successful in the history of our nation.
There is no recorded instance of a sitting member of Congress being forcibly removed from a State of the Union address. However, there have been notable incidents involving attendees during these addresses. Fred Gutenberg had a problem in 2020.
And what makes it even
invited
more
by Nancy
impressive
Pelosi, go
is that,
figure.
do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that?
Oh,
How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country.
absolutely. Let's
And
go.
what a job they've done.
Let's
As a
go.
result, illegal
believe
border
Al Green got
crossings
kicked
last
out, man.
month
What are
were
some
by
good Al
far
Green songs that we
the
need to have on in the
lowest
background?
ever recorded, ever.
Let's stay together. Tired of being alone. Love and happiness. I'm still in love with
They
you.
heard my
That guy ain't
words
singing
and
any
they
of them
chose
shits.
not to
He's
come.
outside trying to
Much
get in, hating
easier
from the outside
that
of the
way.
club. Back to
In
President Trump.
comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American
Let me know how that
history,
sound is in the
there were
chat.
hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do.
Oh, wow.
I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical
he's backing him into
achievements.
a
They
corner.
won't do it, no matter what.
He's backing him into a corner.
5 times
he's
I've been
calling
up
him
here.
out for it.
It's
And
very
he's
sad.
talking about how they won't stand.
And
oh,
it just shouldn't
no.
be this way.
And now look at the optics of this. Look at the optics of this. What a troll. What a troll. Oh, it makes my petty heart happy.
So Democrats sitting before me,
so good.
For just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
This is all landing. This is landing squarely. I mean, this is an absolute shot to call them out for not standing up, to say that he can do nothing to please them, and then every time the camera's going to show them sitting down like this.
My administration is fighting to deliver the change
Get
America
out of here.
needs
That's
to
over.
bring a future
that is landing
that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Does he mean all foreign aid, though? I got questions. There's one. If we're talking all foreign aid, it should be all foreign aid. Oh, dang, the Green Beret Chronicles. What a nice guy Jay is. Shout out to the Green Beret Chronicles.
I withdrew
Thanks,
from
buddy.
the unfair
Jay hit
Paris
100,000 and
Climate
just
Accord,
changed.
which was costing
Because,
us
like, you know, you're not
trillions
gonna.
of dollars.
I'm gonna pause it real quick. There's like the old thing, like you're not gonna know when somebody makes it big time, but there'll be signs. Jay's been big time in us, dog. Just big time. He just gave me $5 on this chat to be like, oh, I got 100K subscribers now. Now I got that money. I see you.
That other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council. We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less
Jay got
safe
all that YouTube money
and totally unaffordable.
Whoa, Simon!
And importantly, we ended the last administration's
honestly, you guys would never
insane
ask for this. You guys do not have to do it.
vehicle
We do
mandate.
appreciate it. Y'all are awesome, Simon. Thanks so much, dude. That's crazy. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. We never asked for that, but thank you.
Saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction.
Jay, to answer your question directly, because you did super chat it, so you deserve a little volume turn down here, and we'll catch up live as they're clapping here. But I don't think Zelensky does survive 2025. I think he's too deep. I think he's too leveraged. I think it's a serious problem with either inside of his country or some nefarious thing. But I don't feel good about that, dude. He looks about He
We
looks like he's
ordered
going to take a
all
trip out
federal
one of Putin's
workers to
third-story
return to the
windows, to be quite
office.
honest with you.
They will
Like,
either show up
especially
for
if Ukraine
work in
collapses. He
person
went over
or
looking
be
for money in the
removed from
EU.
their
They told him
job.
they weren't going to be able to fund him the way that we were. That's why he's back. That's why just before this broke, it was announced that he's like, oh, yeah, I'm totally going to take the mineral deal because, you know, nobody else could fund him or give him the weapons like he went and asked. They wouldn't also give him
And we have ended
guarantees. They probably told
weaponized
him no about
government
NATO.
where, as an
And now he's
example, a
back on
sitting
Trump's tour.
president
So,
is
no,
allowed
Jay, I do
to
not think that he has
viciously
a good
prosecute
2025
his
lookout
political
back to Trump.
opponent like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
Ben was just hitting the chat up via War Room chat, and he says, "What's up to everybody? He hopes you're doing well." Ben Pappas out there just killing stuff. Jake Zwig
And
is in the
2 days
chat,
ago, I signed
both
an
here
order
and on the
making
text. And then
English
Jay is
the
out on a
official
date with his wife
language
and
of the
still checking
United
it out.
States of America. I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Let's go. Let's go.
And likewise, I renamed for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again.
Nice. He doesn't care. He's just doing this to troll right now.
Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska.
We love Alaska, says Trump.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer. We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important.
Some of this stuff's okay. Just speaking to the base. Okay, tight. Like, again, we
You
all
should be
voted for this.
based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Shout out to the Supreme Court.
We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
In your face. Take that, nerds. So I love that he says there's nothing that I can do to make you like me. There's absolutely nothing that I could do in order for you to stand up and clap for anything. So he's just like, I'm just going to burn you down. And you can sit there in silence.
I
Look at those
also
optics.
signed
Look at
an
that picture.
executive order to ban
That
men
is
from
terrible.
playing
That is
in women's sports.
People are gonna talk about all this is just grandstanding. Okay, tight. Yeah, we know what you did, my friend. We voted you in. Man, I'll tell you what. The optics of every time they're sitting down is absolutely terrible for the Democrats. Absolutely terrible because he already set the stage.
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
Again, just okay. Got it. Grandstanding. Tight.
And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women.
Why are we talking
it's
about
very
this?
bad for our country. We're not going to
There's
put
too
up
long on
with
this
it
bit.
any longer.
This bit's too long. We get it. You did all the stuff that we wanted you to do, especially in regards to all the women and protecting women's sports. Listen, I'm here for it. Keep going, buddy. You're getting bogged down.
What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief
Here we go.
to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare.
Pointing at them.
Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like that. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. Every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again. Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job.
Shot there. The next one up is Liquid Death. They make one that tastes like Dr. Pepper.
A major focus of our fight
Death.
to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now.
Anytime Trump talks economy, he always talks energy first. Energy independence affects everything. If you can fix energy, you're energy independent. Goods cost less to ship.
And
that
frankly, we have never
faster. That means they can do it for cheaper. They can cut down overhead. Energy
That's why
does
on my
everything.
first
That's
day
why he
in
talks
office,
about it
I
first.
declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
Let's go. Let's go. What are you gonna freaking? I'm buying chickens, Jake. Of course you are. Of course, drill, baby, drill. Of course, that's what you need to do. What are we talking about? Keystone XL pipeline. Open that bad boy back up.
My administration is also working on a
energy
gigantic
independent.
natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
He's pushing for rare earths because we have the AI Stargate contract, $500 billion. What do you need? Chips and rare earths. What are the two things he announced this week? $100 billion investment for the chips and all these rare mineral deals as you're starting to
further
talk about
combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but we'll be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars. And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Here we go. Here we go.
Doge.
Let's talk
Perhaps
Doge.
you've heard of it. Perhaps.
Perhaps you've heard of it. I'm telling you, this is my favorite Trump. He's been pretty disciplined tonight. He's stayed on track
Which is
for the
headed
most
by
part.
Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Oh, yes. Jake hit me up. He's like, yo, I've listened to that Joe Rogan podcast. It made me like Elon even better because he doesn't give a fuck. I was like, I know, Jake. I know Jake's wig. He does not give a fuck. Not a single one to be had by Elon.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that.
He just keeps back. Look at those optics.
Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60
Dude,
million.
regular people watch this. This is the crazy thing. Like,
making
people actually do still watch the State of the
transgender.
Union. Right now in America, somewhere, someone is getting their
This is
mind
real.
blown by this stuff. They're going, there's
$32
no
million
way.
for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova.
They are
$10
100%
million
furiously
for
Google. I would love to see the Google
circumcision
uptick in
in
some of these terms because I
Mozambique.
guarantee normal America right now is having
$20 million
their minds blown.
for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
Oh, no.
A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia.
Oh,
$14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning.
Ridiculous.
You know what we're doing. Should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education, the most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
Oh, show Elon. How autistic is Elon? Probably very. This guy has both ends of the spectrum and everything in between it. Bless his heart.
And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation. And we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139.
Those 2020 results started to make sense, huh?
3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them. And we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old.
That's crazy. That's
we have a
absolutely
healthier
crazy.
country than I thought, Bobby.
Oh, the RFK shout out. This is masterful. Listen, this is political grandstanding. I said at the very beginning, I don't like these things. I think they're stupid. But just from an optic standpoint, from what he's doing.
To finish, 1,039 people between the ages of
220
and 229. One person between the age of 240 and 249. And one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going. And it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
It's a great line. It's a great soundbite. That's what they're going to use. Every time somebody talks about the economy, every conservative page is going to send that to. They're going to be like, no, here you go. It's what he said.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it. With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million,
I hated this when I first heard it. I love it now.
Successful job creating people from all over the world.
He's basically attracting millionaires and billionaires to come be American citizens. But it's a genius marketing play.
More sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out.
Grow
Number one at the top school, as an example, being forced out and
that's what this is.
Not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, We will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money. Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
Dude. Just stay on teleprompter, dude. Freaking close it up. Just stay on teleprompter, close it up, and walk this one off.
And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
Let's go. Let's go. He's just basically saying, he's saying deep state without saying deep state. He said, I'm here to dismantle the deep state. What if he announced phase 2 of the Epstein drop immediately? He's like, oh, by the way, we're dropping phase 2.
The plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that.
Oh, my God.
But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax.
Now look at the optics. Look at all those people standing up and cheering, talking about tax cuts. And look at this entire seated, stoic, pretending dorks.
It's a very, very big part of our
Look
plan.
at the optics of that.
Tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
How can you say no to that? And look at all these people. Nope. Fuck the seniors. Fuck overtime. Fuck your tax on tips. We're not standing up. And he called them out of the beginning. That's going to be the narrative when they get out of here. It's going to be a couple of these fire lines, and it's going to be this.
I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
Let's go. You want that tax break? Go drive an American car. That's huge. Put money in Ford right now.
Growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
Trying to avoid them tariffs, baby. That's what I like about tariffs. You force companies to bring their businesses here to avoid the tariffs. Poof, that's American jobs. That's American independence. That's all of it. Good. That's exactly what they're supposed to do.
And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country.
Just pointing to the Democrats.
In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term. If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one.
Go for it.
Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs.
Canada's
than we
snow
charge
Mexico.
them.
I'll never
It's
be
very
told otherwise.
unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was. And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us.
I love how he had to explain reciprocal.
We will tax them.
That's how far we are into idiocracy, everybody. He had to explain reciprocal. And again, look at these optics.
To keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer.
Fantastic. What do y'all feel about reciprocal tariffs?
Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving
this fentanyl talk is going to
of
land.
Hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer.
The clapping is too much. They should all get
Thanks
clapped
to
at one
our
time.
America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple,
you're right,
announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA.
Do you guys hear why we need mineral earth now? Do you hear why that's part of the Ukraine deal? Do you hear why Putin floated it in his negotiations for rare earth? This is why. Because we want to start producing all of this stuff here for semiconductors, for AI. You need those semiconductors and the AI processors. And in order to do that, you have to have rare earth. That's why those deals are popping up.
And it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs. So they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people. And they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to. Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer. Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because those goods that come in from other countries and companies, they're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen.
Shout out to the farmers. They're in bed right now, bro. It's dark out. They don't even have electricity. This is what I assume farmers do. I don't know a single farmer.
And I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long. Here today is a proud American steelworker, fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama. Jeff did.
I miss me with the props. Every president does this. Is why I hate it. So he brings them, he gives them a spot here in the chamber, and then we take a second, we talk about him, and then we show him, and then everybody stands and claps for him, and then he has like 3 interviews afterwards. It's just also tiresome. Like,
and over the years, quit doing this stuff. A loving home for more
and with you on this one, Proteus, get to Ukraine, Russia. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about, and then press on. Like, now we're gonna clap for this guy, some steelworker. I'm sure you're a good dude, bud. Look at this guy. That guy next to him is hilarious, wearing a do-rag and a cap. What's this little security guard over here doing? You're not a security.
Thank you, Jeff.
Somebody get that poser right now. Take that uniform off. You didn't earn that. How dare he?
Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again. And it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh. And look where Biden took us. Very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
Shout out to Melania. What's up? Just looking regal. What that belt cost?
Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by two impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative. And
Again,
is
I
poised
don't
to
care.
complete her education
I don't
and
care about the
become a
fluff
teacher.
pieces. The fluff pieces
And
are the worst
Elliston
part about
Berry,
this.
who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much. Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
Sorry, y'all, I have a toddler. The toddler was mad for a second. I was like, what's going on?
And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank
Are we
you
still
and
thanking
Paul
people?
of Border Patrol.
Are we done here?
I
What are
want
we
to
doing?
thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible.
Great, everybody's great.
Law enforcement. Have to. Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren. Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act.
Some would say the best act. I don't mind this here. Again, the optics. We're not going to stand for Laken Riley? No? Not going to stand for the Laken? No?
It's
Okay.
called the Laken Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley. Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history.
Spend
And
a
we
lot of time on
quickly
border.
achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you. The media and our friends
He's
in
most
the
certainly
Democrat
slow-stroking
Party
it.
kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
We didn't need legislation. All we needed was a new president. Fantastic. Fantastic. That's going to be a good one, too.
Thank you. Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled
They're eating the cats and
under
dogs.
the weight of the migrant occupation and
They're eating the cats
corruption
and dogs, everybody.
like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America.
The standing up and the clapping and the sitting down. The guy holding up a sign that
But
says
there
lies.
still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungari from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter. And earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
You're going to sign the order here on the floor. Come on. And the Democrats aren't going to clap for it. I can't stress this enough. That the optics of this are absolutely disgusting. They won't stand for a murdered daughter. How can you possibly be mad at Trump over this? The optics of this are just terrible. Give me that order. Look at this. Democrats won't stand for murdered daughter.
Thank you very much. All 3 savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations. They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them.
So the
Countless thousands
Dems
of
always
these
have somebody
terrorists
come
were
on
welcomed
afterwards and
into
then
the
talk
US
about
by
like the State of the Union. They're going to have Alyssa Slotkin. She's a newly elected Democrat out of Michigan. So she's going to have the rebut here. There is no way that I'm watching that. You could not pay me to watch that bullshit after this. It's always the worst. And the fact that Hakeem Jeffries isn't doing it just makes me laugh. Like, who do you guys have?
Is a warrior on the front lines of that battle. Border Patrol agent Roberto Ortiz, great guy. In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much.
Yeah, Trump do be shouting people out there. Simon, you were correct.
Thank you, Roberto.
Look at Roberto.
And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation,
Yikes.
Posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing. Five nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever.
Wow. I didn't even hear anything about that.
But we need Mexico
Sweet.
and Canada
Good job, Aaron.
to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder, President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it.
I'm the fastest signer. I sign stuff so fast. Nobody beats me at signing stuff. You're like, hey, sign this thing. I'm already done. What is this? I love the bravado of this dude. I'll sign it so fast.
And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns. In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bondi. Good
Not
luck.
happy with Pam
So
Bondi right
important.
now.
Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you. Thank you, Cash.
I wish Dan Bongino was there. That'd be hilarious. Just pan over and see Dan Bongino sitting there.
They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record.
Oh, boy, screwed that one up real bad. Man, and again, you're not going to clap for firemen. You're not going to clap for policemen.
1 year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer
Just the way
Diller's
he talks just
service,
cracks me up. He
when I
killed a
met
lot of people. They say a lot of them.
his wife
I'm
and
hearing
one-year-old
word on the
son,
streets.
Ryan.
Like,
It was
bro, you
very
don't know Killer's
inspirational,
homies.
actually.
You don't know Killer has bodies, my guy.
His widow's name
You
is
don't know.
Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Sorry
much.
about your luck. Hi, Stephanie. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Let's talk. There's this World War III thing that everybody's worried about. You kicked the leader out the other day. People are talking about it. It's got a yellow and blue flag.
Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest. And we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, so we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
That one, you're not going to get that one, homie. That's a legal challenge. You're not going to be able to fight. It's nice to say here during this speech. I would be shocked if that would happen. I would love to be wrong, but I would be shocked. I don't think that's.
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed.
Okay. You're a cop. That's sometimes your job.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
I say this. I mean, again, I did it again. I mean, I get it. But again, that little kid, you're not a police officer. Take that uniform off, posing ass. Look at that kid's face. I've seen more. What happened to his hairline? Daniel, what's up, bro? Man, I hope this kid is not mentally disabled because I would feel like a dick. But here's the point. Do it again. Look at his dad. I'm going to give it up for his dad. Check that out. it's quickly turning into like a halftime at a sports show where they like boo somebody that comes on the screen and then they cheer somebody else. They should show Nancy Pelosi boo and then lift
But
it
in
up.
2018,
Yay!
DJ was diagnosed
I
with
think it's
brain
funny.
cancer. The
Oh, brain
doctors
cancer,
gave
tell you, that's
him
what
5
happened to his
months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love
It'd be
him.
hilarious if that
And
kid had
tonight,
arresting
DJ,
power.
we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Sean Curran's there trying to be like, here's your badge. Go protect the president, you piece of shit. If something happens, that kid better be out there. If something happens, that little Secret Service kid, he better be running to the front to get in front. That badge means something. Look at these credentials they got for the guy. Really? I don't know, homie. I don't know, man. I turned to Theo Vaughn there for a second. I don't know, man. Hey, young Jamie, can you Google if any Secret Service agents have ever been involved in transforming? Hilarious. These kids are chanting DJ and whatnot. I don't understand why. I get it. I get what he's doing in here for. I get it. The optics are bad. They're all sitting down. But
doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger.
That's a terrible
Since
story.
1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Bobby getting a shout out. We are at 90 minutes with this bad boy. We're at 90 minutes, President Trump. People got stuff to do. Nate said he's gonna come. I'm like, Nate, dog. Don't even worry. Your boy's going to sleep. I'm missing bath time right now. I'm missing time with this little guy out. He's out here crying. I'm here on this live. President Trump, help your boy out. Chop,
With
chop.
the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering. How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment,
how do you not
poisons out of
love
our
this guy?
food supply,
How?
and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000. And now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong. 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you. Go get him. Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January Littlejohn and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology.
Again, the trans stuff's an 80-20 issue, so that's why he's talking about it. It's an easy home run for him. But again, move it along.
I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
I'm calling it right now. In 13 minutes, unless we are on fire with
and now
President
I
Trump,
want Congress to pass a bill
I'm
permanently
bouncing.
banning
You guys can go
and
watch the last
criminalizing sex
hour of this.
changes
It's
on
too long.
children and
It's too
forever
long. We're
ending
at
the lie
91
that
minutes.
any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie. And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you. Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military.
Yeah, Proteus, we're good. I'm going to give him some time to try to get here, but holy cow, man, I got a whole family to do. I usually do these for an hour.
Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better? Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations.
Shout out to the bro, Pete Hegseth. What's up? That guy's a bro.
And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the history of our services. What a difference.
Love to see it. Let's go.
And you know, it was just a few months ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit. Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing. And thank you very much. Great job. Thank you.
Okay, hard out.
Joined tonight
10 minutes. 10 minutes
by
hard
a young
out.
man, Jason Hartley. Who
We're bouncing
knows
at 10,
the
so
weight
hopefully
of
he
that
gets to Russia
Call
and
of
Ukraine.
Duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you
later, my dude.
that your
Thanks for hanging out.
application
Appreciate you.
has been
We'll see you next time, bud.
You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
And we're letting people know they got into service academies? Come on. That guy's going to get bullied at West Point. He's going to get hazed like a motherfucker at West Point. That guy is going to get it. He's also got to lose some weight. Just saying.
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA. And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places, they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim, right?
Sure.
They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding. And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore.
So the reason he's doing that is for
very
two
much.
reasons. Number one,
We're
we
gonna make
want to
them
have a
very
bigger
fast, very
stage
soon.
in the international
We'll have a
shipping world
huge
if we're going to
impact.
export
To further
this up.
enhance
He
our
wants to do
national
that.
security,
And then national security with
my
the Navy. It's
administration will
twofold.
be reclaiming
You
the
have to protect the
Panama
shipping
Canal, and we've already started doing it.
Panama Canal's mine. Give it to me. Manifest Destiny's back on the menu, boys.
Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually.
So Marco Rubio is a great shot, like a great guy for Sec State. He's doing amazing things. He's already got a ton of outputs. That's great. So all of these things are good. But again, the Marco Rubio shout out. Come on, man.
But
you can do it.
He's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody. We appreciate you voting for Marco. A fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job.
He just said, thank you. Are they going to stand up? Nope. No, we're going to sit there like a bunch of dickheads. Hilarious. 5-minute call.
I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland.
Here we go.
We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international.
We need Greenland for things, is what I thought he was going to say. I wish he actually would have.
Security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous.
He's going to start talking about this stuff. He needed to get into stuff. We'll look at the Russia-Ukraine talk a little bit later, but for everybody that's hanging out, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for engaging in the comments. You guys have a good night. Make sure to follow us everywhere over at the War Room. You can follow me on my other projects over at One's Ready, or you can follow me over on Twitter at Aaron Loves America, and we're going to call it there because he's just rambling. Man, 95, 115 minutes at this point for the State of the Union. It's too much. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.